Have you ever said yes to everyone even when every part of you wanted to say no? Imagine spending your life helping others, solving problems, being constantly available, while your own dreams, health, and peace slowly slip away. That was his reality. People praised his kindness, relied on him endlessly, but no one ever asked how he was doing. Saying no felt impossible, and every yes slowly became a weight he couldn't carry. But what happens when endless kindness turns into exhaustion? When helping everyone else starts destroying your own life? Today, you'll follow the story of a man who learned the hardest lesson of all: the power of saying no, setting boundaries, and finally taking care of himself. At first glance, he seemed like the perfect example of kindness. Smiling, cheerful, always ready to help. Friends, neighbors, and colleagues knew they could count on him for anything. Need help moving furniture? He would be there. Need advice or support? He would listen for hours. He never hesitated. He never complained. But beneath the calm exterior, tension was growing. His apartment, once neat, had become cluttered with tasks he never had time to finish. Projects he had dreamed about years ago remained untouched. Sleep came in short bursts, meals were often skipped, and his health quietly suffered. He didn't notice it at first. Helping others made him feel valuable, purposeful, and appreciated. People called him dependable, reliable, and kind-hearted. But slowly, a pattern emerged. Everyone depended on him, but no one asked how he was doing. Every favor, every request, every little problem in someone else's life became his responsibility. And yet, he couldn't say no. The thought of refusing filled him with guilt and anxiety. Saying yes had become a habit, an unspoken rule he lived by. And over time, it began to feel less like kindness and more like a cage made from his own generosity. The years of automatic yeses started to weigh heavily. His energy drained, his patience thinned, and his dreams faded into the background. But he kept smiling, kept giving, and kept believing that helping others made him a good person. As time went on, the consequences became impossible to ignore. One evening, after a long day of errands and helping friends, he returned home to find his apartment window broken. Rain poured inside, soaking a bookshelf and papers he had been meaning to organize for months. Yet even then, he didn't fix it immediately. There was always someone else to help first, someone else who needed him more. His health began to deteriorate. Headaches, fatigue, and restless nights became part of his daily life. Tasks he once enjoyed, painting, reading, writing, were abandoned because there was never enough time. His own peace had been replaced with constant obligations. The emotional toll was heavier than the physical. Each yes became a weight. Each favor chipped away at his energy until one day he realized he didn't recognize his own life anymore. Friends, family, and colleagues had learned to rely on him endlessly, but he had lost sight of himself. Even when he noticed the consequences, guilt prevented him from changing. He thought, if I stop helping, will I be seen as selfish? Will people be angry? Will I lose my value? This fear of judgment kept him trapped in the cycle of unending yeses. And then came the storm, not just outside his window, but in his life. A literal storm destroyed some of his possessions, but the metaphorical storm, years of neglect, exhaustion, and suppressed needs, was far more devastating. It became painfully clear that kindness without boundaries could be destructive. The next morning, he walked to the park at the edge of town. There, an elderly man often sat feeding the birds, calm, peaceful, and seemingly untouched by life's chaos. He approached the man, seeking advice, explanation, and perhaps a way forward. He poured out his story, the endless requests, the exhaustion, the lost sleep, the broken window, and the sense that his life had quietly unraveled. The old man listened silently, watching a bird dip its wings in a puddle before speaking. "You are like a river," the mentor said, his voice calm and deliberate. "A river gives water to the trees, the birds, the fields around it. But when it has no boundaries, it floods. It destroys everything in its path. You are giving endlessly, but you have forgotten your own limits. Saying yes is not the problem. Ignoring yourself is." The lesson was clear, yet simple. Boundaries are not selfish. They are life-saving. Respecting your own time, energy, and needs allows you to give meaningfully, without destroying yourself. The old man offered a simple plan. For the next week, before saying yes, pause. Ask yourself, will this harm me? Will this take something I need for myself? If the answer is yes, respond with, "Not today." Learn to say no without guilt. Understand that true generosity comes from a place of balance. He left the park feeling the weight of truth settle over him. The realization was uncomfortable, yet liberating. He had been living a life dictated by others' needs, never considering his own. And now, for the first time, he understood the power of saying no. The first day was difficult. Requests came from all directions: colleagues, friends, family. His old habit screamed at him to continue helping, but he paused. He breathed deeply. He remembered the river, and he said no. For the first time in years, the word felt both alien and empowering. Over the next week, he applied this simple rule. Each no created space to repair his broken window, to rest, to care for his health, and to revisit old passions. He began to organize his apartment, finish unfinished projects, and reconnect with his own dreams. Slowly, a shift occurred. People began to respect his boundaries. Colleagues solved problems themselves instead of automatically turning to him. Friends learned that his time was precious. The weight of unending yeses lifted, replaced by calm and focus. He realized that saying no was not rejection, it was respect. Respect for himself, his energy, and his life. And as he practiced this discipline, he rediscovered joy in helping others because each act was intentional, not automatic. Weeks later, he returned to the park and spoke with the old man. The mentor asked, "Did the world fall apart when you set boundaries?" "No," he said, smiling genuinely. "My world finally came together." Boundaries had not made him less kind. They had made him whole. He was healthier, happier, and more present. His relationships improved, his dreams moved forward, and he finally felt peace within himself.